All right. I'm Scott. I'm the Sober Heathen. Thanks for tuning in for a what should be probably a short one today. This is kind of another video diary, really impromptu. All this just happened within the last 15 minutes. So I'm kind of flying by the seat of my behind here on this one, and there's probably going to be some feelings, some emotions controlling this. Talked about in the Twitter Spaces yesterday with Rich. Proposed the question of what comes first, feelings or thought. And I think right now, my feeling is feelings always come first and they kind of take control, but there'll be a full podcast on that. And I would like to get a certain guest or two, try to persuade them to come on and discuss that in more detail. But anyway, so I got a phone call this morning. I'm supposed to have an interview at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And everything's set up to make that interview. Obviously, if you haven't listened before, I have multiple OWIs. The last conviction, I am not going to have a driver's license for many, many years. Again, that choice was mine to get behind the wheel. And as so many the drunk drivers have, I could easily say that yes, I have 4 OWIs, but I could have 100. And it is a terrible thing to do. It's extremely dangerous. Many people have lost their lives, both the driver and other people who had nothing to do um, with your choice of getting behind the wheel. I'm going to take these off. Uh, I am in no way trying to lessen the seriousness of driving under the influence when I get to what I'm going to say. But in America, our punishments do not fit the crimes, I feel. Um, yes, I did something stupid and things could have gotten really bad. Really bad things could have happened when I was driving intoxicated. I understand that, but they did not happen. Thank the gods I never hurt a single soul when I was out there driving the way I am, the way I was. I, I I am so grateful for that. But where the things have set up now, the the fines that I have, the ankle monitor that I have, that is a constant charge, um, and the lack of mobility that I now have, living where I live. Okay, I live in a small town. To give you some perspective, I graduated with 69 people in my class. I know people out there that have graduated in smaller classes. A lot of times those are private schools, but a public school is 69 people. So there's nothing in my hometown, and the biggest city that's closest to me is in Midland, Michigan. It's about 20 minutes away. So I just started looking into it because I have this job interview tomorrow. Uber and Lyft both are going to be $30 to $60 one way to get to Midland from my house. So that's going to be for 5 days a week. That's going to be $300 to $600 a week that I'm going to have to shell out for rides to get to work for a job that's going to pay me 15 bucks an hour. Okay, so I never did do the math, but I'll just do the math real quick here while I'm on the podcast. $15 an hour times 40 hours a week, 600 bucks a week, and that's before taxes. So how in the hell am I going to be able to afford to get to work? I won't be able to get to afford to work because putting myself into treatment for 250 days in 2022, I have not worked in a minute. I am way behind in child support. So now I can't support my children. I won't be able to support myself and work. I just there are people, and I don't think that I have an audience where there's going to be people that are going to listen to this and say, well, you could have killed somebody. there needs to be firm punishment, because that is a terrible thing to do. And yes, it is a terrible thing to do, and it is very risky, and it is very dangerous, and a lot of people have gotten seriously hurt or worse because of drunk driving. I understand that. There are better ways to do this. They could have put something in my car, a device in my car, to make me blow and take my picture. That makes sense. Take my license away for a month or 2 or 3 or whatever. But 7 years of losing my license, and now I'm supposed to be a productive human and stay sober. The ramifications for this quote unquote justice system, their feeling is, you take an addict, somebody that's struggling with mental health and a substance use disorder, and put them in a cage, and that it's going to solve it. It's fucking stupid. You are not, if just being off the substance was enough to stop these things, people wouldn't relapse. They would get off it and be like, oh, hey, life is better. But there's deeper things. Our justice system is fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I'm not getting political. I am libertarian. No victim, no crime. That's how I feel. And I'm sorry that I'm frustrated that I can't provide for myself and my children right now. I am fully capable of working. There are many companies that are hiring. They talk about how people don't want to fucking work. How the fuck am I supposed to work when you take my ability to do so? What you are doing right now, when I say you, I'm talking about the justice system. What you have done is you are making it to where I want to go buy a cheap $300, $400 vehicle. Okay. I want to put a fake license plate on it, get some tags, or have somebody else plate it and license, and I drive illegally for the next 7 years just so I can provide for my family. That's the way you have set it up. And then what happens is I get into a car accident, or my car breaks down, or a light on the vehicle goes out. I get pulled over. I get tagged again for not having a license, and I'm once again the bad guy. This is a setup for failure. That is plain and simple what it is. You could have hurt somebody, though. You really could have hurt somebody. You drunk driver. Again, if you get pissed off and punch a wall and somebody calls the cops, should you go to jail for assault because you could have punched a person instead of a wall? If you get pissed off and you peel your tires out of a parking lot or out of your significant other's driveway because you guys just got in a terrible fight, and you're blazing down the road and you get pulled over for speeding, should you go to jail and lose your license for reckless driving because it was a heat of the moment thing? Moral of my story is, you cannot punish somebody for something that could have happened. If there is no victim, I'm sorry, there is no crime. And that is maybe a little political for my podcast, and I don't want to do that. But I'm extremely frustrated at this point, because there is, right now, I'm trying to think this through. I'm trying to talk it out. There is really no reason for me to go to this interview tomorrow and accept a job for $15 an hour. I am going to have to somehow find a job where I'm making like $25 an hour in order to catch up on my child support and be able to feed myself and pay off all the medical bills and court fines that I have. How am I supposed to do this? This isn't a pity me. I made my bed. I made, there were points where I absolutely made decisions to choose drinking over getting help. Absolutely. There were times when I would find myself drunk and not really realize how the fuck it began. And if you listen to this and you think, oh, that's bullshit, well, I'm sorry to tell you, it's the truth. There were things that were out of my control. There were some things that were in my control, but with the unresolved mental issues and things that I hadn't taken care of, combined with the need for alcohol, which it was a need. My body needed it to continue. You wake up in the morning, and I'm not kidding, hands shaking like this. You can barely drink. I get a can of pop, open this beautiful Dr. Pepper like this, and try to take a drink. Like, that was not possible without a half pint to a pint of alcohol in my mouth. And again, whoa, poor you, poor you, poor you. This isn't poor me. I'm just telling you how it fucking is. This disease consumed me. It has destroyed my life. It has been a blessing in other areas because I have dealt with my shit. I am dealing with my shit currently. I am a better person than I was a year ago, a way better person than I was a year ago. I'm I'm 10 times better than I was 2 fucking years ago. I've put in the work. Uh, in just a couple weeks, I'll have 8 months of sobriety. I'm doing a podcast where I'm talking to people from all over the US, from Canada. Soon it's going to be Ireland and England, and I'm going to be adding even more after that. I am that's not this isn't me being like, "Oh, give me a pat on the back." I'm telling you that I'm working. I'm working to beat this disease for myself. I am working to share the things that I have done to get better with other people. I'm talking with other people and presenting a platform where what they talk about can be given to other people and try to help them. And people that have had a rough deal, I have people in my close circle. They're not friends. You know what? I'm not going to say who it is. I'm not going to do that. But there are people that don't understand this and they think that, you're just a fuck up and a piece of shit. And that's okay because I can't change how you feel, but I am not a fuck up and I'm not a piece of shit. I have fucked up and I have been a piece of shit at times, but overall I am not. And I'm fired up and I deserve better than this. So yes, I made my bed and yes, I have to sleep in it, but I deserve better than this. And people that are in my position, they deserve a chance. And right now, my chance is being taken from me. But I'll be goddamned if you think I'm fucking giving up. Now, I'll continue doing the podcast. I'll continue to drink my Dr. Pepper. I'll continue to talk to people. Um, yeah, that belt over there, sitting over here to my left, that's a championship belt. And right now, I am winning. I'm a champion of recovery because I didn't drink yesterday and I'm not going to drink today. Those are wins. It's weird. A year ago, I would have used finding this Uber thing and this Lyft thing, this amount of money that it's going to cost me to get to and from work. This would have been a prime time to use that as an excuse to drink and get pissed off and wallow in self-pity. And maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe something will present itself here in the coming hours. But instead, I'm pissed off but I'm using it in a positive way. I'm getting on here. I'm expressing myself, and I'm determined. I'm determined to find a way. And that may not happen. The truth is, okay, and this is maybe going down the wrong path of thought. But the reality is, I have until June to start, contributing to child support in a significant way, uh, or I have to go in front of a judge, which means I have to get there, which means that I have to explain myself why I have not been paying child support. And so I will tell them I put myself in treatment. I was a raging fucking alcoholic for many years. I've lost many jobs and put myself into a position because of my addiction and choices. And then they can decide to put me in jail or not, which is another brilliant idea. Hey, this person's not paying child support, so let's jail them because that'll help them pay. And again, our system is stupid. That is a very real thing. If I don't pay my court fines and costs, they can do the same thing. because putting people in cages is the end all problem solver in the US. We incarcerate everybody for everything. And I am doing my damnedest to not get all political and stuff on and stuff. You know, like I said, I am libertarian, and it is it's very open on that stuff. It's very but anyway. So I've put out some messages after hearing what I've heard today and trying to figure out what I should do. Obviously, check out the Sober Heathen on Facebook. Facebook seems kind of dead in the recovery community. I know there are some good pages out there, but the Sober Heathen's not catching any traction on Facebook. But on Twitter, we're doing really well. So catch us on Twitter. I'm going to start trying to throw out some TikToks, just quick 30-second, 1-minute videos to try to get some more attention to recovery and the Sober Heathen podcast. Check out the podcast on YouTube if you like to just watch me sit here and sometimes look at the camera and most of the time look at my screen. Or find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, find us on Google. And I say us, I mean myself and my guests. So anyway, thanks for listening. Updates to come. This is me telling my story, and I can't wait to one day look back and listen to this podcast and be like, damn, that really sucked, but look where I'm at now, right? So you folks have yourself an outstanding day. Stay sober. Just don't drink. If you're thinking about drinking, don't drink for the next hour. And then when you get there, try it again. Okay, there's always hope. And I believe that even in this situation, there's still hope. So again, thanks for listening. Take care.